So first, I want to just say, for me personally, Dice Game was one of the best albums from last year. Definitely, I love the beats, I love the lyrics.
Thank you.
So it's really nice to sit here with you.
No problem. Thanks for having us.
Nice, man. So we're from Radio Hip Hop Culture.
Okay.
We want to do this audio for the radio show and the video stuff for our website.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
So I want to start with a few questions about your background, because especially the younger people in Germany, maybe they don't know much about your past. So I just want to ask like a few questions. Maybe start with Apollo. If I'm right, you started producing in the middle of the 90s?
96.
96.
96 is when I
Okay,
started, yeah.
96. And your first official album was Skilled Trade?
Skilled Trade. It wasn't until 2007.
2007, so it was a long time.
Long time.
Long
time.
distance.
I was a bedroom beat maker for a long time.
Okay.
Before I decided to show anybody what I had.
Yeah. So how you stayed motivated over such a long time?
I did. Well, I mean, it's really just the satisfaction of knowing that you made this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you make something and you listen back to it and you're like, damn, I made this. This is dope.
Okay.
You know, and just that satisfaction you get from
So the passion
something you
is
put
like,
together, man.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, it's like an artist who paints a great picture.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and they hang it on the wall and then it's like, wow. But then when friends come over, they take it down and put it in the back room. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't want anybody to see it.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool, man. So Guilty, your first album was in 2008,
Yeah,
Ode to the Ghetto. And we have like O.J. Simpson and the Random X album. Now Dice Game is, if I'm right, the first album what you did only with one producer?
No,
Is that right?
O.J. Simpson is with Mad Libs.
Oh,
Yeah, the whole project.
the whole
with
project
Mad
was
Libs,
well.
yeah.
So, is it a difference to work only with one producer, or to do an album like with a bunch of it?
It depends on if the producer has the range to complete an album, but if they have the range to be able to complete an album, then yeah, I definitely prefer that as opposed to collecting beats from everywhere.
Yeah.
Trying to catch producers at their best time. I can't really sit down and hear what they have to offer. They kind of send me maybe 2 or 3 beats and I pick from that.
Okay.
So it kind of messes up the cohesiveness of the record, in my opinion. You deal with one producer, you get a chance to hear maybe 30 or 40 beats from them. Then you understand the range and their ability as a producer. Because if you have 30 or 40 of the exact same style beats, I'm sure we won't do an album together.
Okay.
So, I think it's a lot easier for me to go through the creative process and create one body of work as opposed to an album that sounds like I'm taking beats from everywhere. So I
Yeah, that's
don't
right.
like that.
Okay. Like the same question for you. Is it like your favorite kind of work to do an album only with one MC? You did it with, for sure, with Guilty Simpson, with OC.
I would much rather hold down a whole album by myself.
Okay.
I just, like you said, cohesiveness. You know, I like it to be, you know, when you have 15 different producers on 15 different tracks.
Yeah.
And jeez.
Dice Game.
Put the camera there.
Yeah, when you have 15 different producers on 15 different tracks, man, you tend to get like a circus of music.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It starts sounding like a compilation album.
Yeah.
But when you can hold down a whole album with one MC or one group, and show your range from light music to real hard music to whatever you got, and you can show your range, but still have that consistency and still have that cohesiveness, to where everybody listening can tell that one producer made this album.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, you take it back to the early '90s. That's how it was done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And not to say that we trying to take it back to the early '90s, but it's just there's a certain reason why things were done the way they were done. And I think that I don't know, one producer, one MC albums are amazing.
Yeah.
You know, it's an amazing route to go. So.
Okay, cool. A lot of people say that you were Jay Dilla's favorite MC. That's what I hear all the time. So I want to ask a question like, what would you think would Jay Dilla say about Dice Game?
I think he would think it was dope. You know?
Yeah.
I think the production range is crazy. I think I did my part. I mean, I think my life would be different if Dilla was here. Not saying the Dice Game wouldn't have happened, but you know, when you put Dilla into the equation, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, it's
Okay,
a whole
man.
nother world, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I definitely feel like Dice Game happened for a reason. It was supposed to happen.
Okay.
And I think, you know, I think he would have accepted the music. I think he would have liked Apollo Brown's music.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing a Dilla impression, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah.
So he always appreciated the producer that had his own sound, his own style. So I definitely think he would have appreciated everything that he was doing,
Yeah.
and it continues to do. So I don't think anybody could make me regret
Yeah.
doing Dice Game, J Dilla
Yeah.
included.
Cool. Cool. So I read an article about you. I have to look. You said that you every time I make an album, I try to make it my favorite album of all time. Is it right?
Yeah, that's true.
So
Yeah, without a doubt.
yeah.
I
What
mean,
about
I don't-
Dice
you know,
Game?
there's-
Is it?
nobody wants to start here and go down here,
Yeah,
or,
for sure,
or start
yeah.
here and stay here.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to keep climbing, and that's just that's the natural progression of things, man. You wanna keep doing better and better and better.
Yeah.
And every album I make, I want it to be my favorite album of all time. And right now, Dice Game is my favorite album of all time.
That's what I wanted to hear, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
these are my children.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
my
man.
albums are my children. I love them all equally,
Yeah.
but I love them all differently.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it's that's just basically how I can describe it.
Yeah. The best way. Yeah. So let's talk about the album. My first question would be why the name Dice Game?
In Detroit, the term Dice Game kind of gathers a lot of people's attention. If you went to Detroit and yelled Dice Game real loud, people would kind of gather around,
Okay.
try to see if they could make a little money. Dice Game is just a familiar term that you kind of shout out when it's time to,
Okay.
time to grind, time to hustle, time to work. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I refer to it. Really, it's an interpretation name. Really, how you interpret it, though. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Ultimately, that's definitely an accurate interpretation of how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Dice Game is something to gather attention.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Dice
Watch.
Game is something that gathers a crowd. Something that everybody comes around and watches, forms a circle. And they're gonna watch this dice game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Also, a dice game is a gamble.
Yeah.
For
sure, man.
And what we do is we're not considered popular music. The type of music me and him both make, whether we're together or whether we're apart,
Yeah.
it's not popular music. Anything we do is a gamble. You never know if somebody's gonna like it, if they're gonna hate it. But we stay true to ourselves and make the music we want to make.
Yeah.
So just in doing that, that's a gamble.
Okay. Okay.
That's
So
a dice game.
that leads to my next question. A lot of artists all over the world put so many features on their album that it sounds more like a compilation, not an album anymore. And on Dice Game, you only have Tarot on the Planet Asia.
Torre,
yeah.
Planet Asia, yeah.
Was it like planned to only have not so many features on it, to have more space for you?
Well, if you follow Guilty Simpson, you'll know I've never
Yeah.
had a lot of
Okay.
rappers on my record.
Right.
You never will. The only way you will is if it's purposely a compilation record.
Yeah.
I think a lot of rappers use features as crutches or
They're insecure. man.
a roll call of who I know,
Yeah.
who my friends
Yeah.
are. I think it's super corny. So if you kind of go back in the history of any record Guilty Simpson ever put out, you can count on
Okay.
one hand how many rappers. I had Black Milk and Sean Price on my first album.
Yeah.
That was on one song. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm not a feature-heavy rapper. I just don't like it. I think it's just whack.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah. That's like you track One Man.
Right.
It's like about that.
Right. I mean, just period. One man defines me as an artist and just me as a person too. If you remember the song "Clap Your Hands,"
Yeah.
I don't really care what squad you with, because a real one don't need sponsorship.
Yeah, man.
It's just an overall statement. A lot of people hide behind numbers.
That's
And I
right.
choose to make that statement by myself and let the numbers come after that. You know what I'm saying? So I've never been a feature-heavy artist
Yeah.
on my projects.
Okay. So you have a lot of tracks on it that are going deep, like Change or Truth Be Told, but you also have like typical rap songs like Reputation, where you represent your crew, your town, Detroit. So did you have a concept for the album to say, I want to tell the people that, or was it more like a dice game, you know, we go to the studio and see what will happen?
Yeah, I just listened to the beats and wrote, you know.
Okay.
Like I didn't say I want to write this about this, and the next song is going to be this to connect that. I listened to the tracks he gave me. Listened to a song called Change. It's not too much you can rap about besides something serious on a beat like that. You know? You can't really rap about how much better you are than other rappers or rap about rapping on a beat like that. Reputation, it was obvious. You know, it just made sense. You know what I'm saying? Even How Will I Go? That beat sounds like
that,
know,
yeah.
Right. Sounds like somebody might end it all off of it. You know, who knows? You know, not saying I'm influencing that. That's what I heard, and that's what I wrote. So I kind of always have a clear mind when I listen to a beat, listen to a track. Ultimately, I listen to the track a few times, figure out what it's saying to me, and then I start writing. So
yeah, there was no theme for the album. It wasn't a theme, or I just knew that I wanted people to feel it.
Okay.
You know, with the beats, I wanted people to listen to the album, and if they felt like they wanted to close their eyes and you know, reflect, they could.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not just like I like to describe a lot of today's music is just words and sounds.
Yeah.
Nah, this has feeling, that's soul. You know, that's something that you can sit back and, you know, ponder on.
Okay. Cool. So I want to talk about another great song on the album, I Can Do No Wrong, which is for me a very positive song. You know, the beat gives it, and it's like after you talk a lot about struggle in life and society in this song or on the whole album. So how is it now for you both to sit here in Germany, giving interviews, touring overseas after all the struggle you had in your life? How does it feel?
it's great. I feel like from where I came from, the status that I came from, and basically rapping to stay out of trouble and not embarrass my mother, to be able to tour the world.
Yeah.
I feel like there's no difference between me and Jay-Z, you know?
Okay.
Even though it's miles and miles and miles and miles of difference between us.
Yeah.
But I feel like anytime you can do something that you love to do that you would have did for nothing, you know? We used to go to open mics just to be able to, you know, feel like we were talented just in the capacity of our city.
Okay.
Just to be able to travel the world with that. I've already won, you know what I'm saying? Now, I'm just eating dessert. You know, every time I'm able to do something like this, it's basically like, you know, the icing on the cake for me, because so many people that was doing the same things as me that, you know, can't even leave the city and get recognized for their musical talents, even if they are as talented as me. Because I feel like a lot of the most talented people in the city didn't make it and don't have this opportunity.
Cool. So,